The undeniably critical mission of youth ministry is to transform young people's lives and ultimately culture through the message of Christ. How do we see the world won to a relationship with Christ? Do we start in the marketplace? How about the office? Maybe you think that the school or the university is the place where we transform people's lives and ultimately culture. How about the media and the World Wide Web phenomenon, social media? Certainly the internet is the fastest way to reach society. Do we implement citywide outreaches? What about church evangelism and outreach programs? All of that is great, but let me offer a better option than all of these. The family. Yeah, that's right. Listen, there are many reasons the family is the medium and the organization to which we must place most of our focus in order to see souls brought into a relationship with Christ. See, our families are the best contextual way to speak the language of the communities they live in. Our families are at the core of our community life. The presence of the family is the one system that exists in each community globally. When a family resides in a community, they have immediate access because of the adaptation of that family into, let's say, a neighborhood. Missiology is the study of intention and mission in a certain place. What better way to be a missional church than to use families to reach families? Think about it this way. Adults and children build relationships across multi-generational divides. The only cost to this kind of evangelism is the cost of discipleship and spiritual formation and the kind of commitment it takes to do that in a generation. Because at the center of humankind is sin and separation from God, our Creator. And because of this, we search for a myriad of ways to atone for our sin. However, atonement cannot be found outside of the work of Christ. And that's where discipleship comes in and reaching a generation. Because a healthy society begins with healthy families. At the core of every culture and every society, a healthy society is healthy families. So how do we build healthy Christian homes to ultimately reach a world? How do we make the family a liability, not make the family a liability, but a credibility? Well, here are some ways to do that. Let me help you build successful families that can reach culture. Number one, when the spouse relationship is healthy, the family follows. Number two, children and sibling relationships can bring a huge impact to a neighborhood. Number three, the family dinner and meals are a great place to begin spiritual formation. Finally, number four, family activities and events bring joy into a community. So think about this. In our last blog, we were talking about how to build healthy families and impact culture through our marriages, and it was a multifaceted approach. But how do we then place these families into the evangelization of a world? Because think about it. Citywide outreaches and community justice programs and interfaith meetings, the internet, all those other things we talked about, those work, but there's one area where Christianity gets into the fabric of society. That's true contextualization. It is the family in every area of the globe. So, what does that look like? I believe it is our purpose to evaluate the implicit representation of a certain culture. And the representation of a certain culture is the makeup of the family in that culture. That's how we reach the globe. Because of this, the family must do something with this relational credit that we have in every neighborhood, right? It's strategic. It's a frontal message. Every community has a family. They may not have a bank, they may not have a business, they may not have social media. Every community may not even have a government, but every community in the world has a family that's already representative there. So let me give you 7 signs to finish this podcast of a healthy home. Number 1, the atmosphere is constructive and loving, safe and genuine. Number 2, there is a balance between the home, the church, the school, the workplace, and the community. All of those are symbiotic. Number 3, parents and children are respectful of each other, honor each other, and that brings health. Number 4, the family behavior at home and in the faith setting is consistent. Worship, prayer, devotion, spiritual discussions do not just take place at church, it takes place at home. Number 5, everyone in the family knows how everyone is doing. I love that. Understanding the communication, the importance of communications with siblings on a daily basis. Number 6, a Sabbath day of rest. Man, we've been running around and doing chores and doing assignments and deadlines and everything, right, in all of our lives. We need a Sabbath. Finally, number 7 is the importance of rest within the relational, like the events that we do, not being overbooked, and making sure that we take time to build a healthy home through less events that are busy and more events that are intentional events, right? I believe that's the best way to reach culture. Listen, thank you for joining us.
And number eight, families celebrate each other. And this day wouldn't be possible, this podcast wouldn't be possible without this day 60 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Jeff Brunel's birthday! Woohoo!
Healthy families celebrate birthdays. Thanks, honey. Hey, join us again every week on the latest youth ministry topic right here.